All right, so that process of loading a font is going to be, it's basically the same thing for loading anything from your device onto a sketch. So again, I'm going to go to this drop down, upload file, and I'm going to put in a photo of a koala here. Just close it. And so once that's uploaded, you can see it in your sketch folder, the name of the file. I'm going to go back to sketch.js. Same steps. First, we upload the file. Second, we give it a variable. I'm going to name my variable koala this time. And then third, in the preload function, give that variable a command to connect it to the file. In this case, because it's an image, the command for that is load image, open parentheses, in quotation marks, paste the file name, including the extension. And close parentheses, close quotation mark, close parentheses, and semicolon. So now we can draw that image onto wherever we want onto the canvas. So let's try image koala. Maybe I want to put it right at the center of the canvas. And so width divided by 2, height divided by 2. Oh, let's see what happens then. All right, so as we can see, it is placing it at the very center. But again, with how rectangles work, remember that rectangles, X and Y positions are their top left corner, not their center. So in this case, you would want to also include rect mode. So I might put that instead of rect mode center. And that's going to make sure that every X and Y value that you assign is at their center, if that's what you want. And so, maybe it wasn't rect mode that I was thinking of. Oh, image mode. Image mode, that's the same thing. So rect mode is for rectangles and text boxes. Image mode is for images. Same deal if you don't want the X and Y value to be at their top left, but rather at their at the middle of the image. There we go. But as we can see, it's kind of too big for the 400 by 400 pixel. So what I'm going to do is put on top of the image command the variable name, so koala dot resize, open parentheses, and if I want to make it 200 by 200 big, 200 comma 200 close parentheses semicolon, and there we go. And it's going to be 200 by 200 big. So if you want to scale it proportionally and you want to maintain its aspect ratio without, because maybe the image gets a little stretched if you constrain it to a specific size. So for example, okay, I want this image to be 200 pixels wide and whatever height it is to maintain its ratio. Then you can just put one of those resize values as 0. And so then what that gives you is the original image in its original ratio, just now it's 200 pixels wide. This can work with a variety of image formats like JPEGs, PNGs, SVGs as well. So now if I want to cancel out all of this text, and if I just want to put in maybe a label or a description underneath that photo, and what I'll do is I'll make a new variable to contain the description. And so I can use let description equals, this is a photo of a koala taken by, what's the name of the photographer? Jonathan. There, Jonathan. Okay. There's that, and then I can just put that text underneath the image, and I can say text description, because that's the name of the variable, width divided by 2, maybe height minus 50, and so that means it's 50 pixels from the bottom of the page. So let's try that. There we go. Oh, and I want it centered. There. And now I have my image and my my text, and if I want to still use my font that I loaded, there we go. And now it's time for a speed exercise. So for this speed exercise, it's called My Favorite Things Gallery. So find an image of something that you love, or really any image on your laptop or device, and place it into your P5 sketch or canvas. With that image, try and include a title using the text command. Include a title, a label, maybe a plaque to describe what it is. You can give it accompanying shapes such as rectangles to make maybe, a frame behind the image or a circle, whatever it can be. You can place as many text or images as you want, but try and give yourself 15 minutes. This is just to get yourself familiar with the process of loading files onto p5.js sketches. And once you're done, don't forget to screenshot and share your work on our Discord server. So one of the cool things that you can do with images is pointillize them into this really cool abstract dots sort of animation. There will be a link to the sketch in the description below, so you can have a play with it, load your own image onto it and see. What it's basically doing is pulling colors from your original image and then placing it onto the canvas as dots of varying sizes. And so now you have like this really cool abstract pointillize effect. So the link to this sketch will be in the description below. Another really cool tutorial on that utilizes image in p5.js is this tutorial on how to create generative art and create this super cool effect. One of our team members in our last batch of the Data Garden course did it. So this YouTube tutorial is created by Tang Wei Ti. Apologies in advance if I butchered that pronunciation, but I highly recommend you check out her channel. Definitely check out her tutorials, as she does a lot of experimental work with p5.js as well. This tutorial on how to create generative art using images is very, very cool as well.